Hi friends, good morning, and now I would be introducing to you what are the major types of reasoning that we can see around us. First and foremost is a deductive reasoning. Now what is it? It is a formal method, rule based, and we will see completely how many rules are there and can we really apply those rules into our thinking systems also, and your answer will be absolutely yes, and we will be enjoying it because I enjoyed it a lot. And it's a formal method of top down logic, and it seeks to find observations to prove a theory. So what is the process? We have a set of observations in front of us, and from those set of observations I'm moving towards what we call it as a theory. So in your own research, when you're making certain observations and you try to analyze them in form of qualitative or quantitative, you are reaching to some kind of truth. You're moving ahead with that kind of a truth, and we need to understand, is that the reality that we're talking about? Okay, now it uses formal logic and produces what we call a logically certain results are also present. So we need to understand what those methods are and have to proceed further. Second one is the inductive reasoning. Here you will see that it is bottom up logic and that seeks theories to explain observations. And I would definitely love to thank Andy Field out here because my first interaction with him was he trained in the domains of logic or not? That was my first question to him, and his answer was yes. And he said that yes, I am exposed, but however I don't like to talk more, and now I'm confined to quantitative analysis and the techniques of the statistics more and more. He did not deny that, and he started giving me a list of books. So that's how I started my interaction. So I really thank him for highlighting certain things and making me understand what is the relationship between reasoning, logic, and qualitative or the quantitative analysis. It is exploratory by nature, definitely yes, and allows for certain uncertain but likely results. So we will see later on inductive reasoning, how useful it is, and why many people when they are talking about the quantitative analysis are usually focusing more on inductive reasoning rather than the deductive reasoning, and we will see the reasons also for that. Abductive reasoning, this is, I would say, seeks theories to explain observations, which usually most of us are into, and we do it in our research processes. Now you see, these things would be useful to you not just for the arguments to understand the papers. Even when you are doing the qualitative research or the quantitative, you will see how well these things are going to be helpful for you. It is less rigorous and allows some of the guessing work. Sometimes I see guessing. When I say guessing, it means manipulative. You start manipulating things and you say, okay, he must have thought about it like this, or she must have said like this. Those kind of things I'm talking about. Abductive reasoning is typically used in the context of uncertainty. It is associated with decision making and troubleshooting. Sometimes even when there is a troubleshooting coming up, and as a solution for it, you enter into the abductive reasoning. Backward induction, it's a top-down approach that starts with theories or end states and works backwards to explain them. First of all, what do? We will be discussing this in depth once I entered into the induction, because it took a while for me also to understand the entire process while in discussion with people like Andy Field. Now there were others also who made me understand the entire thing, the regression backward and forward, and how we are moving ahead, and these things are associated, and we will see more and more. And it allows for uncertainty and is commonly used in what we call it as the artificial intelligence, especially nowadays. We are talking about games. Now if we know a little bit about the gaming theories, especially it is used in the classical manner when games were introduced via computers, and if you understand a little bit of it, you would be knowing that yes, these things are also important, and the manner they are being used right now in the artificial intelligence. Critical thinking, yes, this has become a subject domain in majority of the international universities and colleges, and in some private universities in India, especially in the domain of management, I'm seeing that this has been introduced as one of the subject, wherein it is compulsory for the students to understand the importance of critical theory thinking. And what is it? It is a process of rational thought that seeks to draw conclusions in an objective, thorough, and informed manner. So you see, a conclusion has been given to us beforehand, and then we understand how those conclusions have been derived and what were the various steps involved into it. So, did we use any kind of a critical theories or not, or it was simply that step 1, step 2, step 3 was given to it. So it's a product of human thought and is influenced by factors such as culture and language. Now you will see that in some cultures it is really important, in some cultures it is not. Now human thought is based on the natural language that allows for great range of ideas to be contemplated. For example, we know the process of what we call it as the partial truths. However, in some areas, if you go, then we don't have what we call it as the partial truths. Either there is a complete truth or it is completely false. We don't have something called as the partial truth. However, critical thinking also examines what we call it as the emotional things. And when a person is in emotional state, we are able to understand then, okay, now this is the partial truth. We are not able to reach to the complete truth, especially if you are coming from the psychology background. You will understand when you are in the counseling session with a particular child, the child does not give you everything that yes, my dad said this thing or my mother said this thing. You try to assume, okay, the child is saying this thing, then you try to talk to the parent, father or mother, in order to understand why the child has said. Especially in Montessori schools, when a child who's very sensitive, like I love Montessori education, I should say, the early childhood theories a lot. And when I'm interacting with some of the children myself, I love children, and when I'm surrounded by children, I have observed when my interactions are there, they don't give you the entire story. They start off with the conclusion, and slowly, if you are friendly with them, one after the other, they are thinking, and then they will be sharing it. Should I share it with this person or not? And certain times, if your rapport is very good, they will share it completely with you and to other people. Then the parents, are also surprised that yes, they are not aware of certain things, whereas the information has been provided to a third person. So sometimes, parents are also scared that my child should know, especially when parents interviews are going in and we are interacting with the child, saying that, do you think that your mother is wearing the right color of the sari today? And at that time, the child says, no, I wanted her to wear this sari, however she wore this sari. Then we ask them, why do you feel that mother should have worn that particular color and not this particular color? So the color schemes, I'm so sorry, I'm just digressing it from the topic. However, you will understand why I'm saying is that the critical thinking and the manner in which we proceed further are always interrelated, and we are supposed to know them. In the same manner, the next one, apart from critical thinking, is counterfactual thinking. This is nothing but considering the things that are known to be impossible. Now, if I ask somebody, okay, you prove this thing and show it to me, I know it's impossible for a person to prove certain things. However, those things are taught to us, and we will deal more about this in later also. Intuition, sometimes, intuition plays a very important role, and you will see that these are the judgments that are made by the mind, that are perceived by the unconscious state of your own thoughts. Now, for example, if you are talking or discussing more about phenomenologists, and Kant, Husserl and Hegel, their methods are being discussed. Now, in their philosophies, you will understand more and more that intuition plays a lot of role, and they have given to you when they are tracing the entire process of thinking, and how beautifully they have introduced it. We will see when I'll be introducing to you one of their theories in the qualitative analysis. Now, such judgments exhibit intelligence, coming in through intuition, but the processes by which they are generated. Now, some people say that we do not know. However, However, I would say that it is completely known reason. What we think as intuition is coming out of the experience also, number one, and there are certain theories which they have given quite a lot. We will discuss it anyways later on. Now, however, we need to understand that this has a lot to play in very important scientific mathematics or day-to-day discoveries when certain things are being taken care of. Now, I'm going to end here with this particular thing, and we will come to another part wherein I'll be discussing with you more about the subject. Till then, thanks. Bye.